really breaks your heart for Mavericks fans and everybody involved in the situation. Kyrie Irving, 2 nights ago now, out for the rest of the season, torn ACL. The hits just keep on coming for the Dallas Mavericks. We are actually like 31, 32 days after the Luka Doncic trade. And in the time since, we've seen injuries to all of their bigs, or their bigs have been out for an extended period of time, including Anthony Davis. And now Kyrie Irving, who will be 33 at the end of the month of March, is out for the foreseeable future. The recovery time for a torn ACL is 8 to 12 months. And there's just more questions than answers that come out of the situation now that Kyrie Irving is down.
Are we about to see like the curse of Babe Ruth happen to the Mavericks with the curse of Luka Doncic?
Man.
Like, are they about to go 100 years without winning a championship after making that decision that they made? I feel for him, because I mean, hey, I sat on this pod and I said that the Mavericks this season were in a better spot than the Lakers just for this season alone. And I'm still not going to get off we never got to see it play out. We saw one half of Anthony Davis looking like one of the best players in the world in the way that he could have fit on that team. I'm still going to hold my ground on, if they had stayed healthy, that they could have been a better team than the Lakers this season. I'm holding my ground on that. But we're not going to get to see that happen, because now Kyrie has suffered season-ending ACL injury. Like you said, Shams is now reporting that he thinks, it's all speculation, but he thinks there's a strong chance that Anthony Davis will not play again this season. They will sit him out for the rest of the year as he tries to get his body right. PJ Washington hasn't been able to stay in the lineup with ankle injuries. Like everything, Gafford's been out, Lively's been out. Everything is falling.
Hardy went down.
Even Jaden Hardy, Kyrie's backup,
Caleb
is
Martin
now,
or Cody Martin. I forgot which one they traded for, but like.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they traded for a hurt Martin twin, which, probably wasn't the best decision either. But as Quentin Grimes is starting to ball out in 40 piece, and then had almost a 30-point triple-double the other night for the Sixers. So I'm sure they're regretting that one a little bit too. But I mean, nothing is going right for the Mavs. I do feel for their fans. Like, I feel for just the entire situation, because even like, all right, like, it's a gut punch. You trade Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis gets hurt in his first game back. Kyrie's still averaging like 30 a game since the trade. He's doing everything he can to keep that team afloat. And then he goes down like that. It's really sad. Like, I feel for Kyrie big time, because I think this was a moment for him to kind of prove like, hey, I could still be the number one guy on a team, take this team on a deep playoff run. And I think there was still belief in Dallas. If all three bigs could get healthy and Kyrie is still playing at the level that he was, they could maybe make a playoff run. Now we're not going to get to see that most likely. But it's just kind of the nature of the game. Sometimes Dallas is going to have to go back to the drawing board this offseason. They're going to have to try and figure out, all right, how can we build this team around Kyrie and AD? The thing that does work in their favor is I still think that Kyrie and AD are two of the most well-liked players among other players in the NBA, and Dallas will still be a destination if a player, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Kevin Durant maybe is, getting traded, and maybe they can find a way to bring him to Dallas. Like, that'd be a pretty terrorizing big three, even with, injury concerns and everything like that. Obviously, again, that's all just, pure rumors and smoke and everything like that. But, Dallas is cursed at this point, and they're going to be cursed for the rest of the season. And now the Lakers are thriving, and it only makes things worse. But, kind of prayers up to Kyrie to hope that he's able to make a full recovery and get back to the player that he was over the last, month since that trade happened.
Yeah, that's a big thing with Kyrie. He has a difficult injury history. I think back to the knee fracture in the finals in 2015. Then like the surgery that he had to fix that ended up with more problems when he was in Dallas with when he was in Boston with that same knee that caused him to miss that entire 28 postseason run that the Celtics had. And he had the shoulder injury his first year in Brooklyn, had the ankle sprain that the Nets think that maybe would have kept them from, going to the finals, and when everything kind of went wrong with them, and, Kevin Durant stepping his toe on the line and all that stuff. And every time he's bounced back, and there's been a lot of things obviously off the court with him as well that I feel like he's done the work to kind of mend and fix as well. And just what he's done. And again, just going and seeing how well liked he is by his peers says so much about Kyrie Irving as a player, as a human being. And again, the way he responded to this injury, went live on Instagram and talked a lot about, having dealt with injuries in the past and now doing it again from a more mature perspective. And also a big shout to him, tip of the cap. It was, again, made it more gut wrenching. Goes down with a torn ACL. It's pretty obvious the injury is pretty serious. Steps up to the free throw line, makes both free throws,
carried to the free throw line.
And then
crazy,
and then leaves. What an image. And again, you hate that he was hurt, and I'm not trying to champion the sadness of that moment, but just thinking about him doing that in that moment just says a lot about Kyrie Irving. So when I think about it and spin it forward, right? I think for the Mavericks and the inevitability of probably it being the smart choice to shut Anthony Davis down, because I think a big part of why he got hurt when he did was because he heard the noise, and he might have rushed back from the injury that he had and wanted to just prove people wrong. And that's human nature, and that's understandable that he wanted to do that. But if they do inevitably shut him down, and the injury issues that are plaguing this entire roster, right now they're 32-20, 3-game lead over Phoenix for the final play-in tournament spot. And just this time, last week we were saying that this top 10 is set. Now I look at Phoenix. I look at Portland, who has been a surprising team. I know we showed some love to Shaedon Sharpe last week. Do you think that Dallas has that cushion is big enough for them to just kind of hold on even if they don't want to? And if not, do you think it's Phoenix or Portland? And I use that Phoenix conversation to segue into KD stuff. But first, what does this mean for the Western Conference play-in tournament?
Well, I mean, if Colin Gillespie didn't save the Suns season last night at the time of recording, then maybe I would have told you that the Mavs had enough of a cushion to still hold it down. But I mean, Colin Gillespie, just who would have thunk it, comes in, knocks down a couple big shots, plays 1B to Kevin Durant, who goes off in the fourth quarter in a ridiculous, miraculous comeback for the Suns, who are literally just on life support at this point, and found a way to come back and beat the Clippers.